What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, I want to give you a quick update on Pepe to build on top of the ones from the last few days because things are looking extremely good and people don't even seem to realize that. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all and let's get straight into the video. Now guys, don't forget, if you do want to trade a little Pepe yourself on up to 25x leverage and other cryptos on up to 100x leverage, you can use that Margex link down below. Guys, when you do sign up to start trading, you're not going to need the KYC, meaning you don't have to hand over your personal and private information. You can just sign up and start trading, and they're going to give you up to $10,000 in bonuses and rewards. You guys can see I keep tens of thousands of dollars in my account here because I am consistently trading on a day-to-day basis here. This is one of my favorite platforms to trade on, so feel free, of course, to check that out down below if it is something that interests you. Now, looking at Pepe here, guys, things are looking damn good. Now, let me give you a little bit of context because you're going to need it in order to truly be able to see why I'm saying that things are looking good. So, looking at Pepe here, right? What we have been talking about is the fact that this bad boy has finally made its first macro Fibonacci extension in a very long time. We had this swing high from back here, right at that 1.7 level. We came all the way down to that 5.9 level, 5.7 level roughly. And then we started to push to the upside. We ran into this 618 to 786 Fibonacci zone, which put simply is just a major point of resistance. We ran into that resistance, got rejected to the downside, put in a nice little mini ABC move to the, or look, sorry, actually did that a little bit off. There you go. A little ABC move to the downside just like this. And then from that ABC correction, we started to work our way up, surpassing that major point of resistance, surpassing that previous high, and hitting our first Fibonacci zone at the 1.272 Fibonacci extension level, which is roughly about 23140 in terms of Pepe's price. Now, I told you all, as Pepe's price did hit this extension zone, like, hey, this is the first major breakout target. This is the first level where people are going to start taking some profits. This is where people are going to want to start, of course, stabilizing a little bit. Don't be surprised if you see it cool down here. And of course, that's exactly what we saw. But I told you all, as we do start to cool down, I will let you know if what we're seeing in that cool down is bullish or not, because if it is bullish, we might have the opportunity to even continue higher, maybe even pushing upwards towards that 3.3 level. And what I can let you guys know is that what we are starting to see play out is very bullish, and I want to explain why today. Now, the easiest way to explain why is you need to understand the two different choices that you have when a crypto makes a pump like this. And it's what we've been talking about a lot here today on the channel. When a crypto goes straight up, it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to come all the way right back down, and you're going to get a blow off top that's followed by an absolute smackaroo to the downside, or it's going to either consolidate a bit or go down slightly or up slightly, right? So at some point, it's going to just stay in the same general vicinity, but it's going to start spending some time around that level. Now, what you guys need to understand is that one of these two options will happen. It's not a matter of if it'll happen, it's a matter of will. It's either going to do this or it's going to do something along these lines. And what I've said consistently is that we always want to see this happen. We always want to see it being able to consolidate or melt upwards or slowly melt downwards. And the reason being is because that means that the bears have stepped in, they have slowed it down, but they're not being able to overpower the bulls. They're not capable of forcing these losses that are going to be hard to recover from because the bulls are going to, of course, get exhausted by getting forced all the way back down here. This means that the bulls are winning the more macro fight, they're looking good, and we're in a spot to where this thing easily could start to trend upwards at any given point. And so knowing that, of course, now we can apply that to Pepe and you can start to see that things are looking good. Instead of getting an absolute smackaroo to the downside, we're seeing Pepe's price consolidating and going slightly downward, if not sideways, implying that the bulls are stepping in and doing a fantastic job of keeping its price up there. Now, with the context out the way, let's talk about what's more happening today, because we did kind of talk about this yesterday. So what's happening today is even more signs that this is going well. If we go all the way down to the hourly charts, you can start to see some of these early signs that I'm talking about. One of the major ones that I am looking at is the fact that our Bollinger Bands have finally contracted. I always like to see our Bollinger Bands go back to this little contraction right here. You see how sometimes the Bollinger Bands open up a lot and sometimes they're closed in? That means that volatility has slowed down, and typically many of your indicators, especially your moving averages, have reset. So when your Bollinger Bands move like this, it means that volatility has again reset, typically meaning your indicators have started to reset. Now, on top of that, if we do look at an indicator such as the RSI, what you can see is that our RSI on the hourly charts has now pushed all the way back down at one point to the 40 level, putting in the lowest point that it had been in weeks, if not, no, this is In a month. Yeah, the lowest point that the hourly RSI had been to in a month happened just earlier today. Now, on top of that, if we go out to say something like the 4-hour RSI, although it's not as low, this thing is now back towards the 60 area, which is a little bit overbought, but not extremely overbought, just going to further show how much this thing is reset. And you may say, okay, well, what does all this mean, right? We're seeing this reset of the Bollinger Bands that are contracting, the RSI resetting, your moving averaging started to reset, right? Another thing that I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention is the fact that we are getting bullish structure in here. You can see these early formations, cup and handle pattern, or maybe you want to look at that as an inverse head and shoulders. Maybe you want to look at this as an ABC correction to the downside with a breakout and back test to the upside, right? All of this little structure that's forming. You may wonder, well, why is that important? The reason it's important is because, again, it's showing us that the bulls are stepping in, countering the selling pressure from the bears, meaning that since we're in a bull market, it's much, much, much more likely that we're going to see this foundation start to hold. We're going to see Pepe try to stabilize at one of these major support levels and eventually try to continue upwards. The name of the game is always trying to figure out whether or not Pepe and other cryptos are going to continue upwards or if this is the top. And what we're seeing right now shows us that even if Pepe's price does continue back downwards, say it comes all the way back down to the 175 level to retest that previous high back there, it's still extremely likely that the bears will get exhausted, especially if this market moves upwards, and that the bulls will step in pushing the price to the top side. And so overall, what we're seeing right now is absolutely fantastic. I love moments like this because they further motivate me to think like, okay, we're probably in a good spot. So even if it does go lower, I don't get nervous. I don't even freaking care because I'm like, oh, just give it time, let it cook, and eventually we should see a move upward. So I just wanted to update you guys and let you know, hey, we're in a fantastic spot and things are looking very good. And my game plan right now, guys, is to give you updates on Pepe every single day, especially while its price is moving like this so frequently. And so if you guys do want extra information from me, you can get it for as little as $1 a month. I have a private community down below for you, and if you want to join the community itself, you can pay $1 a month, talk to me, ask me questions, talk to the chat and everybody else in the community. And for $5 a month, you can get extra insights, thoughts, charts, and stuff from me, daily fundamental analysis, daily technical analysis. You're going to get access to the crash courses that I'll be releasing over the next few weeks for those of you who are maybe a little newer to the space, and much more. So feel free to go check that out if you do enjoy the content. And don't forget, if you do want to trade a little Pepe yourself and up to 25x leverage, you can use that Margex link down below and get up to $10,000 back in bonuses and rewards. But overall, I'm loving what I'm seeing here. And as I mentioned before, I have every intention of talking about Pepe every single day. So if you have been enjoying it, please don't forget to subscribe. I've already posted 4 or 5 videos today. I still got 2 or 3 left for the day. So the bull run is back. We're going to be freaking making all this content, and I hope you guys do enjoy it and appreciate it. So let me know down in the comments below, and I can't wait to see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.